We're only 9 days into 2023, and I feel like we've already reached a point where scams have become more common than the cold. I just can't believe that there are still people that are falling for crypto scams in particular. It has to be the same people just doing it over and over again and not learning their lesson. Like that bit from every cartoon ever where someone steps on a rake and it hits them in the face, they turn around and step on another rake and it hits them in the face. That's people with crypto scams and losing money. Just going back and forth, ping-ponging around, getting spit roasted by every shady crypto company ever until they're completely out of money and then blame it on something else besides themselves to avoid taking any level of accountability and responsibility for their reckless actions. The reason I'm talking about this isn't because of what you think it is. Of course, Logan Paul and Crypto0 is the biggest scam right now that's been exposed and has been being talked about by everyone, including me. But there have been a handful of other high-profile scams that have all come out, but they've all fallen into the cracks, into the shadows, because Crypto0's been kind of like this bullet sponge, taking all the heat for the others so that way they can die a quiet death without anyone discussing it or making a hoopla. But hoopla is my middle name. So I'm going to come in here and make a scene out of it. I'm going to shine a light on it because there's one in particular that I'd like to talk about today that I haven't really seen anyone go over. And this is once again an influencer-led crypto scam, but it goes bigger than just one project. This was multiple, and the creator came out and said that he gambled away all of the funds. He has a gambling addiction and all of the investors' money went to him gambling it. They say honesty is the best policy, and in this case I'm glad he came forward with that information. But man, you absolutely need to be held accountable for this shit. This was a high-profile, blatant scam where you mishandled every investor's money and everyone lost all of it. That's a crime. That's just like an actual financial crime. So we'll go over it from the top, but I gotta tell you, it really is incredible just how frequent these scams are now. It's worse than RuneScape right now. RuneScape has less scams than the real world at the moment. It's wild. Now, usually I like to think this goes without saying, but I'm going to make a special exception here and just say it anyway. Please don't go and harass this guy for all of this. He does need to be held accountable, but the right way by the right organizations, and the people that were actually affected, the victims, are the ones that should be coming forward to hold him accountable, not just like a giant mob with pitchforks after him on Twitter or Twitch or whatever. I don't usually even bother giving this warning because I think there's a level of trust between us. You know, we're like family, only closer. Like, we're related by something far stronger than blood, content. So, please don't harass this person. Just wanted to make that clear. Their name is DNP3. Now, I'm not familiar with DNP3, and I wasn't until this whole situation. From everything I can see, this is a streamer slash content creator whose entire brand was giveaways. He has over 600,000 followers on Twitter, 250k on Twitch, and over 100k on YouTube, so these are pretty big numbers, but it seems like they're heavily inflated because all he seems to do is giveaways, which is basically a real-world cheat code where you just, you know, hey, like, follow, retweet in order for a chance to win $100. Make sure to follow the stream and you might win $500, this and that. It's like a really fast growth strategy, but it doesn't have any real viewer retention or audience. People just treat you like a little money block in Mario where they can just keep jumping up and hitting coins out of it because you're frequently doing giveaways, but they're not really a fan of you. It's just people that are treating you like a giveaway fleshlight that they can fuck from time to time. So he used these giveaways to get these big numbers, which in turn conveys the idea that this person is more popular than they are and more trustworthy because bigger number, better person kind of mentality. So they use this to then platform these crypto coins, NFTs, these projects, and a lot of people bought into it, trusting that surely this guy's so well off he wouldn't be scamming us, which is a tale as old as time. People falling for that old idea. It's like my father always said, just because someone seems well off doesn't mean they won't suck a fart out of your butt. You can't be getting bewitched by this perceived popularity and think that they're automatically a trustworthy person. Now that I've kind of set the stage on who DP3 is, let's see his statement on what he's done. It's a twit longer. It says, "I'm sorry. There's no easy way to deliver this news, and this is by far one of the toughest messages I've ever had to deliver in my life. Over the last year, I got incredibly addicted to gambling. Every dollar I could find, I would put into stake in hopes of winning big. More people have lost money on stake than they have in the fucking stock market, it seems. Even when the big wins did happen, it wasn't enough. Eventually, I lost everything in addition to my own life savings. I also irresponsibly used investor funds to try and get my money back from the casino, which was wrong for so many reasons. To all my friends, family, and everyone who believed in me, I'm so deeply sorry. There aren't words to describe the level of shame and guilt I feel, and I can no longer live in this dark world, and this is my attempt to break free. I am now completely broke, both financially and spiritually. My sense of trust in myself is compromised. I'm working with a help group to start the path to recovery. I'll create a separate tweet which will have next steps for each of the projects I was involved in, including Clue, Xenia, Gridcraft, and Goobers. That sounds like a Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe kind of book title right there. Gridcraft and Goobers. Like, good lord. They're two separate projects. I can get into that in a little bit, but one's an NFT and the other's just another crypto cash grab. I'm sorry that I betrayed your trust. I'm sorry that I did not live up to my values of integrity. I'm sorry that I let you all down. I'm sorry. The projects that he's listed here aren't small by any means. We're talking millions and millions of dollars that he gambled away. Now, I want to just go ahead and take a look at what I think is the biggest one, at least based on what I've seen, and that's ClueCoin. So I took a bit of a dive onto their website, and let's see what we got. And it is the most generic shitcoin imaginable, just unapologetic and shameless. This is probably copy and pasted from 1,000 other shitcoins websites. Together we can change the world. Yeah, I'm sure by purchasing these imaginary schmoobles, it'll all of a sudden change the world. It's just once again a cash grab, and there's DNP3 right there as the founder and CEO. Now, if you want to look at the graph, it's tragic, and it's as you'd expect. An absolutely colossal failure. Everyone's money lost. And DNP3 gambled all of it, most of it, I suppose. To me, even if he didn't gamble these funds, you were going to lose them anyway. It's a goddamn shitcoin. The inevitable fate of putting money into a shitcoin is that all of it vanishes as if it never existed in the first place. So I feel like no matter what, if you put money into any of these projects, it was going to go poof right down the shitter at some point anyway. It just so happened that the person behind it is even shadier than I would have ever expected, and he's just openly taking the mask off and letting you all know that he took your money and gambled it, and he's saying it right to your face. We can also trace back where the addiction started, it seems. Go back to the genesis. Oh man, I used to watch all your streams and I really didn't notice your addiction. I thought it was just fun for you. Really sad to read these words. I hope you can find some clarity, dude. Stay in peace with yourself and your family. DNP3 responds saying, started with a sponsored stream and unleashed an addiction I never knew I had. That's very interesting. So it seems the patient zero to this disease happened to be a crypto casino itself that sponsored one of his streams and threw him deep into the rabbit hole of gambling addiction. It's crazy. These crypto casinos have claimed more souls than Shang Tsung. They really get their fangs in you, it seems. Because this is not the first story, far from it, from these new crypto casinos that are sprouting up everywhere. Gambling addiction is really popping off these days. It seems like as there's more access to this kind of shit, more people are getting hooked on it. Addiction in any of its forms is bad, but gambling addiction is a super serious and scary one. Now, having that kind of real addiction doesn't excuse anything DNP3 did here. Far from it. It's still very much his fault, his responsibility, but it is sad that he's been struggling with a gambling addiction. But it's even sadder for all the victims that he stole money from to gamble, the millions that he used to gamble. That's what's more sad than the addiction itself, is the people that were affected by it because of him. What really rubbed me the wrong way about his twit longer is he says all of these things and they're sad and it seems like he's trying to farm a little sympathy, but at no point does he offer any kind of action to help people that have been affected by his reckless gambling. He doesn't have any plan to get their money back. He doesn't have any idea on what to do to help the victims be made whole again. And I think that's one of the most important components that he needs to address. Okay, so you fucked up, you've gambled all of their money away. Well, now what? How are you going to help all of the people that you've betrayed? So yeah, that's kind of where the story's at right now. This is a rather new development. It's only a few days old, so the story is still being written here. We'll see how everything keeps playing out. But yeah, just another awful scam situation. I'm hoping the investors get their money back somehow. I don't know how, but hoping that they get their funds returned in a giant refund or something. But anyway, just wanted to bring this up. That's about it. See ya. This is one of the wilder stories I've seen this year. It almost sounds made up, like a fake headline in GTA Online or something. It sounds AI generated by ChatGPT. It's hard to believe this is real. A YouTube couple has now just been sentenced and will receive prison time, at least for the husband, for a series of videos where they showcased blatant insurance fraud, multiple videos of blatant insurance fraud. And the word multiple is doing so much heavy lifting here, it's a sin. Like, that is an understatement. Over 160 videos allegedly showcasing insurance fraud attempts or collisions caused by the YouTube couple in order to get money from their insurance. Also, road rage as well as provoking road rage. Just like this absolute massive pile of horrible shit they were doing in their vehicle in order to get money from insurance. Everyone hates scammers, but the roller coaster doesn't stop there. It doesn't matter if you've already puked your guts out, here comes the encore. They're also facing, and have been sentenced for child abuse because they were intentionally causing these accidents with their kid in the car for some of them. And they would have got away with it too if it wasn't for those meddling internet points. This is the most on-brand shit for the modern landscape of brain rot, clout goblin mentality. The father couldn't keep his hand out of the cookie jar of internet clout, so he started posting these dash cams of the collisions and insurance fraud attempts on his YouTube channel, and then shamelessly went to TikTok to accuse some of the other drivers that he got into the collisions with, that he himself caused, of being insurance scammers.
What you see here, this is Jeremy Perales. He's about to set me up for an insurance scam. He's about to set up an accident. He recognized me from Facebook.
Unhinged lunatic behavior right here, and then proudly posted on his own TikTok page. So what happened is, he had suddenly started to brake, and the driver behind him had to cross the double yellow line to get around him to avoid a rear-end collision, and then Christopher turns into him in order to force the accident. And the driver was initially found to be, I believe, like 90% at fault because he crossed the double yellow line. Christopher was actually quite gifted, an idiot savant when it came to insurance fraud.
He's doing, and he knows how to not be at fault for him.
It was last April. Jeremy Perales says his insurance premium shot up after this accident in Yucaipa. But was it really an accident?
To think, to be able to do this to a person, set them up for an accident?
I was stopped and then he hit me.
Jeremy says his insurance deemed it 90% his fault because he crossed into the other lane. But it isn't the first so-called accident Phelps had been in.
Just the way Christopher Phelps speaks is off-putting. He sounds straight out of Dr. Evil's lair. He just sounds menacing and, like, genuinely unhinged. And then he's talking about how, like, it's unspeakable how this man could try and set up an accident all because he recognized me from Facebook. Holy shit, that is deranged. You think he recognized you from Facebook and then tried to set up this accident? That doesn't even make sense. Obviously, Christopher doesn't believe that. His whole MO was insurance fraud in order to collect on the insurance paycheck. But Jesus, it's just so weird to listen to him speak. He just gathered mountains upon mountains of evidence against himself and posted it online. And somehow investigators stumbled upon this cornucopia of evidence that the husband, Christopher Phelps, was gathering of their insurance fraud and child endangerment. Like, Christopher ended up being his own worst enemy. He was like, the Zodiac killer, leaving all these clues, all these breadcrumbs for investigators to somehow find. And I have no idea how they found his channels, because he was getting like 50 or 60 views per video. I don't know how the fuck they ended up there. You would have been more likely to end up in Narnia than on his channel. But Jesus Christ, they must have had L from Death Note on the case, because they found all of it, and they really cannonballed into the rabbit hole. Investigators found at least 23 collisions, allegedly documented by Phelps, which were linked to at least 17 insurance claims. Christopher is receiving 3 years in the slammer, and his wife is getting only a little bit of time in jail and then 3 years of supervised probation. Now, I'd like to show you a couple more videos here from the archive of Christopher Phelps and his insurance fraud journey. I have to mute the first part of the video here because this goober was playing DMCA copyright music. I'll just explain what he's saying. He's saying that the driver that he's pointing to is mad because Christopher passed him. Christopher's got some steam coming out of his ears for this video because he was actually found at fault by the officers on the scene for abruptly stopping, which causes this rear-end collision. But Christopher's arguing that the guy flipped him off, which the guy does admit to, and that because he was mad, when he stopped for a utility vehicle, the guy intentionally rear-ended him.
And just to show you that utility truck, here's the guy that hit me right there. That is the utility truck that was turning left onto my street. I was trying to stop for him and give him way to go down this way, and unfortunately this guy was mad because I passed him.
What a bunch of mumbo jumbo, a load of hooey here. He's claiming that, oh, this is his fault, he was so mad, real mad goofball, and he rear-ended innocent old me who was just stopping for this utility vehicle over here. When the video immediately betrays that, what are you talking about? You stopped abruptly, you brake-checked this man way back where those two trucks were parked, and then your evidence that you were actually stopping for a utility vehicle turning left is like significantly further along than where you actually stopped. Unless you were giving this man like 700 feet worth of turning radius room, that doesn't make any sense at all. That's not what happened. That's a blatant fucking lie. And here's two rapid-fire insurance fraud attempts from old Christopher and his wife. I don't know if their kid's in the car for these, but probably is, considering they did that quite a few times.
And we're gonna do this. Find out if they're gonna conspire with the sheriff, or if they're gonna cooperate. We'll see.
This is the last TikTok video that Christopher posted, him as a warrior about to go to battle for his case, fighting for justice, and signs off with, we're gonna find out if they're gonna conspire with the sheriff or cooperate. That is so fucking weird. Such a weirdo, and such a bad fucking person. Him and his wife. To not only be insurance fraud scammers, but to put your life, the life of the drivers on the road, and the life of your child all on the line for a couple doubloons from insurance is ridiculous. That is so fucked up and disgusting. A scam that endangers your life, the other drivers' lives, and the life of your kid that you're putting in these situations. I think 3 years was way too light of a sentence for this guy, and his wife got off way too fucking easy here. I don't understand how they got such light sentencing for this shit. They even did get assault with a deadly weapon charges because they were using their car as a fucking weapon. They were just hitting other drivers on the road to try and squeeze some coins out of insurance claims. They were more than willing to not only endanger themselves, but everyone else, including their kid. Every day was bring your child to work day, basically, so they'd fucking strap their kid into the back seat and just blast into another vehicle to try and file another insurance claim. And if they unsuccessfully caused an accident, they'd then try and make a road rage incident out of it. It's crazy how little they got punished for it, relatively speaking. I think the sentencing is way too lenient on how often they were doing it. This is very clearly premeditated, and it comes at a high price to everyone around them. This could have been a lot worse. There could have been deaths. And even in its current state, many of the other drivers, they had insurance premiums be hiked up as a result of this because some of them were found at fault for the shit that Christopher Phelps and his wife were doing. The whole thing is just so fucking horrible, and I'm really pretty upset that they get off so easily from it. But yeah, I wanted to talk about this because I found it so fascinating. I learned about it from Otozi, who recently made a video covering it as well. It's so degenerate. It's so fucking ridiculous. So yeah, just wanted to talk about it. That's it. So yeah. I'm not sure how many of you know about this, but there's a huge scam going on YouTube right now where people are getting tricked into deleting their own accounts. And they're not like small accounts or anything. I'm talking accounts with millions of subscribers. And it seems like they're targeting the smartest people on the platform. Like if you heard tomorrow Charlie was tricked into deleting his account and showing pictures of his cock on the internet, you'd be like, yep, that sounds about par for the course. That sounds like something Charlie would be tricked into doing. But when you hear Jim Browning was tricked into deleting his channel, you're wondering what the fuck went on? Who could outsmart Jim Browning? For those that don't know, he's an extremely large YouTuber who's famous for taking down scammers and taking down entire scam operations around the world. He's super good with computers. He is literally that cyber boogeyman that your parents were afraid of in the year 2000, where they thought if you opened Microsoft Office and typed :XD, that you all of a sudden your emails were going to be hacked, your credit card information stolen, your bank account drained. He is that guy. He can do like anything with a computer that you could possibly imagine. If you accidentally say hello to Jim wrong on the internet, he's got all your fucking information ready. This guy hacked into the CCTV cameras at a scam headquarters just to gather evidence on them one time to take them down. It's incredible. It's like on Xbox Live when you'd hear some asshole say like, yeah, my dad works for Bungie and we've got all your information now, so get ready to get banned. Except Jim Browning is actually able to do that. He is that. Like, this guy is a real-life L from Death Note. Super smart guy, super great guy, and he recently was the main victim to a YouTube scam that convinced him to delete his own channel. Today he posted a video going through exactly how the scam works. It's a great video. I highly encourage you to check it out. And I want to talk about it just a little bit and give a bit of a summary, as well as a little advice for any YouTubers out there on how to avoid it. He does as well, but there's a couple things that he doesn't touch on that I'd like to. He's also not the only victim of this scam. Another very smart and large YouTuber named the Spiffing Brit was also convinced to delete his YouTube account in what appears to be the exact same scam. And allegedly these aren't the only two, but these are the biggest two that I can find that have confirmed to have fallen for the scam. So how does it work? Jim Browning has it all covered from start to finish. He recorded the entire interaction with the scammer, but I'll just do a little caveman breakdown. Bad man pretend to be Google. They were able to send a real email from a real Google account at google.com. They sent an email saying you have a duplicate AdSense on your YouTube account. As a result, we'll be suspending your channel. If you want to talk about it and try and rectify this, you can join our YouTube support chat. And then there's a link, and the link actually takes you to a real YouTube support chat. So this entire time you see at google.com, and it really is at Google. It is a real YouTube support chat. So there's nothing too suspicious about that, and that is a real error that happens on the platform, I imagine, with duplicate AdSense accounts. So all of those check the boxes of, might be legit. So upon joining the YouTube support, they walk you through how to fix the problem, though there is something Jim Browning points out. When you're in the YouTube support page, there is a discrepancy with the email that you're talking to. It's at creatorpartners.com, which isn't right. That is the wrong email, but by this point you're already convinced that this is really YouTube support. So, as he mentioned, he wasn't paying enough attention to it and didn't think anything of it. And I imagine it's the same for the Spiffing Brit. So after talking with them, they walk you through the steps on how to fix it, which is moving your channel, the one with 3.3 million subscribers in Jim Browning's case, to a blank channel that they have you create, saying, we're going to take this channel and move it here, and this is going to fix the AdSense problem. Well, in doing that, you have to, in the move, delete the original channel. So you end up deleting that channel, and now you're left with just a blank channel. Now, this isn't the goal of the scammer. Once you get to that step, what they want you to do next is fill out a forum, so that way they can access your original account. And this is where Jim Browning's, all of his sirens were going off, and we entered DEFCON alert, where he realized it really was a scam. In that forum, they ask you for some really odd information that no company would ever ask for, which is stuff like your password. So that is the biggest tip. No one and nothing that is official will ever ask for your password to anything. So upon seeing that, he closed the case. He knew it was a scam, but then tried to get more information out of him. The scammer started bragging after he was caught, saying that he's worth $2.5 million off of this scam, and that he has 12 accounts, some with 6 million, some with 3 million. None of that Jim was able to confirm, but it is worth at least mentioning. And then today, the Spiffing Brit posted this picture about how his channel was deleted and he was tricked into deleting it himself by a scam. So you're led to believe that it's this same scam. Now, I don't know how far the Spiffing Brit has gone, if he actually did fill out that form and give away his password, which I would be very surprised if he did. I don't think he did that. I'm sure he noticed it was a scam at that same point, but by then, your goose is already cooked. You've deleted your channel, and now you're left with nothing except at the mercy of YouTube, who does have the capability to reinstate channels. Jim Browning is fully back online. Everything's back and running. He's got all his videos back. Everything's as it was before this scam even happened. But it is still a huge hassle, especially if they did go through with giving the password, because now the account's compromised, the scammer has it, and they can take whatever revenue the account makes. So that is a big problem. Though Jim said even if he did give the password, he thinks two-factor probably would have protected his account, and I agree, that probably would have stopped it in its tracks. But let's assume the creator doesn't have two-factor on, well, then they'd be fucked right then and there. So that's just a breakdown very briefly of how it all played out. It's a lot more intricate than I'm giving it credit for with my explanation. Jim goes into detail and shows just how convincing it is, but that's pretty much how it all went down. So, how can you avoid something like this? Well, the first thing you need to understand is YouTube doesn't communicate. So if you get an email from YouTube saying anything, it's probably just a fucking scam. I've been on this platform for 15 years. Do you know how many emails I've received from YouTube? Almost fucking none. I can count them on one hand, probably. I just don't get YouTube emails for anything, and I imagine that's the case for most people on YouTube. When I get like a copyright claim or anything, I don't get like an email or anything about it. I just see it on my account. You know, I'd never get emails from YouTube. So getting anything from YouTube about like, hey, there's a problem and we want to fix it, are you fucking serious? YouTube yet never wants to fix anything, let alone reach out to you to try and get it fixed. It just doesn't fucking happen. So that should immediately be the biggest red flag, is getting contact from Google or YouTube. The only time I have contact with YouTube or Google is through my partner manager, or anyone I know at the company, you know? DMs or emails of people that I personally know at the company, never from YouTube or Google itself. So that just doesn't seem to happen to anyone. And when it does, it's usually shady, like in this case. So that's my biggest piece of advice. And then the other big thing is, don't just trust the domain blindly. As Jim points out towards the end of the video, it seems like anyone can send an email from a real @Google domain without actually being representative of Google. So just because a domain looks legit or even is a legit domain, don't let that just be a pass for everything they say. Don't just write it off because the domain was real. Because, again, in Jim's case, it really was from Google, but it was a scammer that was able to use the Google domain. And it seems like anyone can do that. So that's just the other thing to be aware of. That's really about it. It's a pretty wild scam, and definitely the most intricate that I think I've ever seen on my history on this platform. I've never seen one actually be able to target extremely smart people successfully. Usually you'd see it happen to channels that are like prank channels or something, not actual fucking 500 IQ scam exposers and extremely smart YouTubers that expose exploits in the world like Spiffing Brit. Like, the fact that it got those two means it could get fucking anybody. So, you know, be cautious out there. And yeah, that's about it. So yeah. In the UK right now, there's a product that's more valuable than gold that people are going absolutely wild and wacky over. It's Prime, which is the drink from KSI and Logan Paul. It's being treated like a holy elixir that's understocked and absolutely making people ravenous to get their hands on it. The Prime panic is sweeping the UK, and there will be no survivors. It's like the blood of Christ has been bottled and people can't help but just go fight for it. And it's not because of the taste that's led to this situation, it's because it's become something of a status symbol. Having it makes you cool if you're very young, and if you're very old, having it means you can charge a huge markup for it and scam those kids that are desperate for the attention that it brings online. So there's been a lot of videos of people fighting each other for it. I'll show you a couple of clips.
Oh my god!
People getting in there, throwing hands, boxing each other out like it's basketball, getting ready for a rebound, all just to get their hands on some Prime. I've had it before because in the States it's not rare, it's not hard to come by. I could walk outside right now and find like an unopened pallet of Prime. It's really just in the UK that this hysteria is sweeping the entire nation. It's going absolutely crazy there. So I've tried it, I think it's good, I have no complaints, but I certainly wouldn't be beating some ass and being that desperate to get my hands on a bottle. But you know who is extremely desperate is a place called Wakey Wines that I just recently learned about. Their entire business right now revolves around reselling Prime at a huge price increase, all the way up to £100 for a single can or bottle of Prime. Usually a bottle will be about £2, but Wakey Wines is treating it like it's the fountain of youth juice here, selling it at 100 bottles, or £100 per bottle in some cases, and they're still successfully making sales. They've actually become extremely popular for this. A lot of people are buying it from them. That's how outrageous this whole thing is. Now I want to show you a great video that breaks it all down. This comes from a channel named Fat Memer, and I learned everything there is to learn about Wakey Wines here. You hear the Wakey Wines people made their own drink. What's special about Wakey Wines? They price gouge everything they sell. How are they successful then? Oh, here's a whole thing on it. Let me see.
Mohammed and Abdul, aka the Wolves of Wakefield, have been hitting national headlines over the...
The Wolves of Wakefield. I don't know anything about these guys. They seem like some real goofballs. I promise you, no one is calling them the Wolves of Wakefield besides them. They absolutely gave themselves that name. No shot anyone actually gives that much thought to them aside from like, wow, what a joke.
The last few weeks for reselling Prime at extortionate prices and their viral videos. Ironically, they haven't become known for selling wine, but Prime. Now, of course, because KSI and Logan Paul
I'm assuming they sell
faces
more
of
than
Prime,
that, though.
They know that kids are willing to do anything to get their hands on this drink. For Mum...
But why? But like, actually, why? I still don't see why people are fighting themselves over Prime in the UK. It is abundant in the States. I can go anywhere that sells drinks and they have, like, Prime filled to the fucking brim, literally leaking out of their toilets. It's everywhere. There's not that same chaos here. Why do kids in the UK want to fight each other for Prime? Even if it's from their favorite YouTubers, I don't really get it. Because you just drink it once and then you're done. Expensive and therefore cool. I guess... That's kind of become like a pretty common thing. Like if something costs a lot, it's like a status symbol to have it. But it's not like you collect Prime. What, are they putting it in like an acrylic box and stacking it on their bookshelf? I doubt it. They probably get it, drink it for the sake of a TikTok, and then they're done. €100 down the shitter. They collect the bottles to flex on TikTok? Well, you can just order empty bottles though. The flex is they drink it. But it just seems like such a huge price for one TikTok of drinking Prime.
With fluctuating prices between £15 and £30 for the standard Prime drink, and prices now reaching an eye-watering £100 a can for the brand new Prime Energy cans. Wakey Wines have taken
I see. Okay, so the energy's an increased premium because it's newer. I'm assuming it's even more understocked. So now they're charging the moon for that shit. It's like an NFT at this point, goddamn.
Which has led people to discover his dark past. In 2015, Mohammed received an 8-year jail sentence and served 4 years behind bars. At the time, it was reported that he pleaded guilty and was convicted of selling cocaine and heroin. With this...
Yeah, it just reminded me of something totally unrelated to his charges. You guys ever see this video? It just resurfaced today. About the turtle that was smuggling $53 million worth of coke. Yeah, it was back in like 2017. There was a sea turtle that had $53 million worth of cocaine that was strapped to it. That was like fucking El Chapo's pet. They finally got him though. They finally got him. That bastard. He'd been importing this shit for years. 1,800 pounds worth. How long did the turtle serve for? I don't know. I didn't see anything about his trial. All I can tell you is Crash did not take it well after the flop of Finding Dory. Shit was rough. In all seriousness, I hope the turtle's alright. Yeah, I imagine they probably got the cocaine off of it and then just set it free again. Like, I don't think they actually threw it in cuffs or anything. I don't think it's currently sitting in, county. Thanks, Yusuf Panda. Did I get the name of the turtle from Finding Nemo wrong? Isn't it Crash? It's Crash and Squirt, right? Why are you saying it's Crush? Oh my god, it is Crush. Oh, I'm such a fucking idiot.
For my money now, I've got a shop. My dad bought me a shop, and I work hard, and I don't sell drugs now. So I just thought I put it out there rather than everybody else saying Azza's doing this, Azza's doing that, and I'm a changed person. I'm reformed. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I see no reason to doubt him. He served his time. I think he doesn't even need to deal drugs anymore. He's selling something far more addictive, and that's clout. So he's able to easily tap into an even bigger market now. Like cocaine, yeah, I'm sure kids are gonna get cocaine somehow, but it's a lot harder than just going down to his shop and getting fucking Prime for €100. So it's I believe he probably doesn't deal drugs anymore.
Amounts and high values. It shouldn't be worth £100 for a can of Prime, or 10, 15, 20 pounds for a bottle of Prime hydration. It's absolutely ridiculous and I hate it. To the owner of Wakey Wines, I mean, what you're doing is just unfair, and it's
Challenge him to a boxing match. Beat his ass.
It's not ethical. It's not nice.
Although to
KSI drops the gauntlet. If you can beat me in boxing, you can actually double the price and I'll endorse it. But you lose, you shut down the shop. Make some high stakes out of it. Scalpers are dicks. Yep, no one likes scalpers, literally. I don't know how they're in business, to be honest. They must just be very lucky that some people are so starved for the clout of that TikTok flex of drinking the Prime that they'll pay the £100. But, yeah, no one likes them. Literally no one likes them. I think scalpers are probably like one of the only unanimously hated career paths in the world. Like even a drug dealer, you can make some arguments for like a good drug dealer. He's peddling escapism. Well, he's doing it because he has to feed his family at home. With a scalper, no one's making those arguments. Scalpers just fucking suck across the board. I just checked, it's like 120 American dollars. Yeah, if you convert it to freedom units, it's over $100. It is outrageous. I mean, that's scalping in a nutshell, though.
fair play, Mo. In fact, if you're a kid and you're paying £100 for a bottle of Prime, then you deserve to get scammed. You've got to write the kid off. He's got no chance.
You know what? I'll make an argument in defense of Wakey Wines. He's teaching kids an important lesson about getting scammed early. And hopefully, it'll be something that stays with them for the rest of their life. Like, wow, what a fucking idiot I was paying £100 for this bottle of Prime. Never doing that again. It's a low-level scam. It's very expensive for a kid. Very expensive in general. So it should be one that would resonate pretty profoundly, I would think. It's not the kid's money, it's the idiot parents. That's possible, I guess. Well, it'll teach the parents an important lesson about not raising a dumb kid. I don't know.
Video emerged of Mo in a nightclub dancing the night away with women of the night. One Twitter user stated, "Sniffing lines, banging nines, and selling Prime." I mean,
cool slogan.
can you blame him?
Put that on the store.
To society, and anyway, these kids wouldn't know how to spend their money properly. Wakey Wine seems to be going from strength to strength, and now even have their own song.
Get my scent, you Wakey Wine.
Oh! Wait! This is the Paradox Metaverse crypto place? Where the Amio Talio tried to get like Wakey Wines endorsement behind him and not even they were able to make anything out of it? That's crazy! Wow, they actually just do go scam to scam. So they're even in metaverse scams. Holy shit. Crypto scams. Wait, that's fucking wild. That's a full circle. They're just like this giant fleshlight that scams will filter through. Cool.
Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to follow me on all of my socials.
This is a great breakdown of it. I didn't know shit about them.
Subscribe and comment below what you want to see next.
Huge. Good work. That's interesting. What a nice little cameo from previous season supervillains with Paradox Metaverse crypto. How's that coin doing, by the way? Let's take a peek. Oh, jeepers. How did it all go so wrong? Oh, I can't believe it. That's the day chart? Oh, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. We should look at how it's doing over the last week. Oh, no. What? How's this possible? Whoa! What was this little pump here? Amio Talio buying on bot accounts. Good work. That was a nice little pump and dump for a day. Literally a day. And then back to rugging it. Did you see kids opening Prime at Christmas? They reacted the same way as a kid getting his first Xbox. That's so cute. There is no worse or more degenerate place on the entire internet than TikTok Live. TikTok live streams are actual hell on earth. You'd sooner find me in the adult baby diaper lovers community forums before you'd find me in a goddamn TikTok live stream chat. I would sooner go to the front lines of a war zone than venture on over to TikTok live streams. It's just so bad and pathetic. The majority of the TikTok live streams I've ever seen are just blatant scams or people non-stop begging for donations with a made-up sob story. And that's what we're going to focus on today. I'm sure you've already seen some of the more popular scammers on TikTok live streams, such as the one Mudahar recently made a video about. This is a trend where you have these adults near children who appeared to be ill, and it's a pre-recorded video, it's not actually live. Sorry to spoil the Christmas magic there. And what they're doing is they're just begging for money, like, you know, rocking back and forth saying like, guys, this child's gonna stay sick unless you give us money right now. Your money can bring this child back to life. We have the antidote, we just don't have the money. The panacea will save them, and we just need your money to save this child's life because they're so sick. If you don't send the money, they're gonna stay sick forever. Please don't let this happen. And it's obviously aimed at exploiting people's willingness to help those in need. This one's actually a pretty deep scam because it's not just individuals doing it by themselves. It's actually like an entire business that is having people do this for them. Like it's like almost an entire empire they're building off of this scam. At least that's what it appears to be. And there's one other thing I'd like to mention, and this one's not very important. It's just a little pet peeve of mine that really grinds my asshole. In TikTok, the way you tip isn't directly with money. They had to be quirky about it and unique. So instead of tipping real money, you're tipping goofy, dumb shit like roses or sunglasses, top hats. Oh, thanks for the 5 roses. Whoa, 14 Glurpies? Holy shit, you're too generous. Oh my god, a milkshake? No, you guys are being too nice today. I understand it's Christmas, but you can't be spending this kind of money giving me a dragon? I hate it. I hate it so much. Don't be such a fucking weirdo. Just make it like 1-to-1, like, oh, here's $5 or whatever. I hate that they have to like convert it into stupid little Microsoft clip art shit as like, here's what you got tipped. It's a rose. It's dumb. I hate that. Not important, but just something I wanted to point out. So this is a very common scam, but it's not the only one. There are just so many scams similar to this. And there's a video that's been posted by a YouTuber named Wasabi who goes over one of the biggest culprits of scamming like this, and probably the most popular one, who frequently does these kind of live streams and still hasn't been banned, and actually has a following of over 500,000 people.
But for live streaming instead.
If you end up on the TikTok live stream section, you've already fucked up. Like, I'm just gonna assume you're there for something nefarious. Like, why the fuck would you ever watch a TikTok live stream? Go anywhere else for live content, not TikTok. Like, holy shit, it's fucking terrible. That is the worst streams ever, bar none.
Becomes a lot more appealing to people wanting to give live streaming a shot, or potentially by scammers who see it as a great opportunity to take advantage of other people.
So judging by the thumbnail, this is the scammer he's about to call out, and I can already tell you he's doing the exact same scam that I briefly mentioned. I'm going to take a shot here, just based off of the other scams I know on TikTok live streams. He plays pre-recorded videos begging for money, doing something, telling a sob story, one of the two. And he just loops that shit endlessly to try and farm money out of it.
And we are not getting a galaxy. You see, I just needed to be positive because we aren't getting a galaxy. I was so confident. You are making me rage today. You are making me rage today because we aren't getting a galaxy. Which means I don't have to knock it over, which means I'm not going to rage, and which means I'm not emo. Because galaxy means I'm emo and I have to knock it down.
Someone translate. Is a galaxy some kind of like in-app currency that's a big one? What does that translate to real currency? How many doubloons? Why am I... How am I getting so many different answers to that question? I'm just gonna look it up myself. How in the fuck... It is a standard rate on the gift, I have to imagine. How the fuck did I get a range of $5 to $1,000 from so many different people? Jesus, why do I ask? Why do I bother asking? Costs $13.50. God damn it. Holy shit, it is $13.50. Okay, so then this is just everyone's doing this scam then. Displaying pre-recorded videos as a stream.
Is this fake? No, your mom fake. It's not fake.
The cherry on top, some people don't even have real streams. They're just pre-recorded. They're fake. So the process for going live is pretty straightforward. On TikTok's website, it says you must be 8 that don't know any better, so they're easy to fool and potentially get money from.
That's also very common. On TikTok Live, I know they take Twitch streams sometimes and just broadcast it there as well on their page to farm off of the TikTok stream, or off the Twitch streamer. So they'll take like a VOD. They'll take like, let's say, XQC playing GTA RP. They'll take his entire stream, download it onto their phone or tablet or whatever, and then they'll just play it as a live stream on TikTok and just let people come in and just farm. That's pretty common on TikTok. I've seen that before. Do I watch TikTok? The only time I go on TikTok is when there's like an interesting drama story. Otherwise, I don't fucking touch it. I am not really too big of a fan. I'm sure there's good content on there somewhere, but I'm not going to be the one digging through to find it. It's more than $13. There's no way. It's like 100. Are you talking about the Galaxy? What do you mean? I looked it up. TikTok Galaxy cost. Why did you donate to tell me that when you can just look it up yourself? Roughly the equivalent to $13 to $15 or $13.50 overall. This is outdated? This is December 11th of 2022. It was a week ago. What the fuck do you mean it's outdated? Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe inflation's a whole new kind of beast over on TikTok. I'm just going to say this is probably correct for now.
The easiest way to tell if a stream is fake is to look at the user's profile. For a majority of them, their profiles are either blank with a fake profile picture, and the bio either has no text, or some of them say, "Don't give me Galaxy," which is their way of saying, "Give me money."
Are you serious right now? I haven't blinked for the last 17 days. You can literally join my live right now and check for yourself. I don't blink.
This is unwatchable, holy fuck.
Your live? That is cap, bro. I haven't blinked in the last 7 days. You can literally join my...
Is it a scam or do people have bad taste? No, it's a scam. He just plays pre-recorded videos. So when you donate to him, and he's like, "Give me a Galaxy or I'm gonna fucking cry and pee-pee. Give me a Galaxy or it's gonna be real wet trousers in here. No Galaxy?" And then the chat, for some reason, does donate a Galaxy. But since it's a pre-recorded video, he doesn't react to it or anything. He just loops that video endlessly forever. He has all the Galaxies he needs. Yeah. He's got too many Galaxies now. He's got his bag. He said enough is enough. I'll leave a couple solar systems for the rest of you plebs. So Wasabi went over the minimum payout threshold, which is really generous. It's $10. As long as you make $10, you can get paid out for that. So getting one Galaxy pretty much immediately covers that. And I imagine he's actually been successful in farming that, considering he has 520,000 followers. And a lot of them just really don't seem to get it. I understand they're kids that still don't have object permanence, where if you put like an orange behind your back, they think it vanishes from existence. So these kids still believe that they're watching real content from the guy, even though it's pre-recorded videos. So I have no doubt that he's been able to get a lot of money out of doing this over and over and over again. He's also been doing this for a long time now. There's videos on YouTube right now that have called him out multiple times over the course of the last like 6 months at least, from like a Cheeto as well as a couple other commentary channels. So he's just been at this grind, the Sigma male grind, all year. Just absolutely scamming children, taking candy from babies.
Followers and likes on his actual profile. But if you were to actually catch one of his lives, then you would see that as a pre-recorded video. Another way to tell that's pre-recorded is look at another YouTuber who has already covered this exact same guy before. A video that they showed for him over 6 months ago is a video that I just showed that I recorded myself when he was live a few days ago. So yeah, the entire thing is fake. And then of course, just like all these profiles that want to try and get money out of you or scam you, they have a link, you click on it, and then they provide 3 different drop downs saying earn this, make this, when all of it is not real. But
the Eater of Worlds was unsatisfied with just Galaxies. His gluttony knows no bounds. So even apart from just the live stream scams, he now also includes more scams in his bio. He's double, even triple dipping into the art of scamming. So you click on his bio link and it brings you to the age-old scam, a classic, an iconic one even, where it's gift card giveaways, win an iPhone, win 50,000 skateboards, win a date with Jenna Ortega, like just all of these stupid things where like, oh, click here, get $750 and an iPhone and shit like that. All of it fake. All of it a scam. So this guy's entire identity online is based around just absolutely slapping kids and their parents' wallets around. But of course, he's not the only one doing it. It is extremely common on the platform right now. So again, I don't know why you'd ever go to a TikTok live stream unless you're really just trying to lose money for the sake of losing it. But at that point, just flush it down the toilet. Why bother giving it to a piece of shit like this guy? So yeah, I just wanted to talk about some of the scams going around on there, and that's about it. See ya. Today I wanted to tell a story I recently told on stream about the time I got scammed for all of the money I had at the time. I must have been 18, maybe 19. I was definitely still a virgin when this happened. Not that that's pertinent to the story, but just a little bit of lore there, a little side note. And my friend Andrew had come to visit me so we could party at my university. But unfortunately, when he came up, there were no parties. And if there were, we certainly weren't invited. The lacrosse bros did not want the gamer nerds coming in. So I've got my buddy Andrew over, and he's just eating fucking Reese's cups as we're doing nothing except playing like Tekken Tag Tournament 2. And then eventually we decided to find something else to do, and we found a carnival that had rolled into town. It was like one of those pop-up shop carnivals where they transport everything in on like a dilapidated school bus. So they scooted in and they set up shop nearby, and we're like, well, fuck it, we're not doing anything else. Let's go to this carnival. And I swear to God, when we got there, it looked like something out of Courage the Cowardly Dog. This place looked haunted. And we were basically like the only customers there. There was like a few children, or at least the spirits of children that were there, like hanging out, and they were riding the only ride at this carnival, which was one of those spinning rides that it was like this giant horrifying metal contraption that just looked like a medieval torture device. It looked like a fucking transformer that had gotten hit with a stick of dynamite. It looked so rusted and gross. I have no doubt that was just a tetanus disaster waiting to happen. I don't even know if those kids are even alive anymore if they rode that fucking thing. But that's about all they had. They had that one ride and then a ton of shady carnival games. Not like the fun, goofy ones that you can actually win, you know, like the basketball one or shooting water into a target. They had only the rigged ones that you can't win under any circumstances. So this was less of a carnival that came in and more of just like a rolling scam that travels. But of course, I'm 18, 19 years old at the time. I'm a virgin, so all I'm really thinking about is titties and how I'm not seeing them. So, you know, I kind of disregard that, and I'm going around with Andrew, and we're playing a few of the games. Of course, we're not winning anything, not even like those tiny stuffed animals. We're getting nothing. The closest thing we're getting to a prize is stepping on a used condom in the parking lot. Like, there's just really nothing that we're accomplishing. We're just wasting money and wasting time. To reiterate the location, it was literally in a parking lot in between two condemned buildings. That was the location. This fucking barren wasteland looked like something out of the Fallout universe. It would have been less gross to just wander through catacombs, because at least then we wouldn't have been losing money doing it. But I came to this with like $200 in my wallet or something like that, and we were playing through these games, not winning, and I'd gone down like 50 or 60 bucks, I don't remember exactly what, but it was a lot. Like, we were spending a lot of time just indulging in this filthy sin. Now, before I get to like the actual meat here of when I lost all my money and how this all happened, I want to drive home a point. I'm not exactly like a super gullible person, I don't think. I like to imagine like I'm a grizzly, chiseled man with hair on my sack, because as an avid RuneScape player, I know how to recognize a scam. I started playing RuneScape in 2005, and I got used like a fleshlight on that game. I was falling for a lot of scams. I once gave my fucking password away to a guy who said that he didn't think my password was cool. So to prove him wrong, I just gave him my password in order to impress him. And then I lost my account to him. Like, I was scammed a lot. And it was an invaluable lesson it taught me. When someone's trying to take advantage of me, how to recognize a scammer, and just like all of these red flags that should go off in people's heads when they're faced with a scam. I think every child should be scammed at some point. Teach them a valuable lesson. They don't need to lose their house or anything, or like get wrapped up with a crypto gambling scam or whatever, but maybe just like a small scale scam for candy. Teach them a little something. I always believed that the lessons I learned in RuneScape through getting scammed would be very helpful, and so far they have been, but on that day, nothing could have prepared me for the scam that I was going to encounter at that godforsaken carnival. The game was the toss a ball off a backboard, make it land in a bucket, and you win one of the jumbo prizes, like the fucking wumbo-sized unicorns and bears and shit. So for those that don't know, the game is a wooden backboard, it's a big circle, and it's at an angle. It's slanted this way. Underneath it is a basket that's poking out just enough for a ball to bounce off the backboard and fall in the basket. And you only have to do it one time and you win the biggest prize. So this carnival's not very big, obviously. Andrew and I had passed this a few times, and it wasn't like there was some heavenly glow on it, like, this is the game for me, this is the one I want to play. But as we passed it for like the third or fourth time, the dude finally calls over. He's like, you guys are just wandering around, come over here, let's just like talk and hang out. And we weren't doing anything, so we'll come flirt with this guy, whatever. And he's just so charismatic. We're just talking, shooting the shit. I think he brought up sports, and at the time I was like a sports fan, so we talked a little bit. And then he just started talking about his game. He's like, if you guys want to play, you can just like play this game. It's $5 for 3 throws, you know, might as well, and we'll just keep talking. I was like, that's a good deal, $5, 3 throws, and it looks really easy. And he's like, well, I don't want you to think that this is like rigged or anything. I want to show you that this can be done because, you know, he must have seen us losing. So he demonstrated that it could be done. So he walks up, he's like a little off to the side of where I'm standing, where I have to stand to shoot. And he bounces it off the backboard, first try, right in the bucket. He's like, yeah, I can do this all day. Picks up the ball, does it again, picks up the ball, does it again. He does it like 3 times in a row. And it's like, okay, this game looks really easy. So then he hands me the balls. It's an absolute disaster. I'm sticking my dick in my own ass. I can't get a single ball even close to the bucket, no matter how lightly I throw it or where I'm hitting the backboard. For some reason, it's like it's being shot out of a cannon once it hits that backboard. And it's not making any sense to me because I'm doing like the exact same thing he is. I'm putting a little spin on it. It's just not getting the job done. Nothing's working. And then he hits me with this proposition. For $10, I'll give you 10 throws and I'll give you your money back from this round and the previous round and still give you the big prize. I was like, what in tarnation? This is the nicest guy on earth. What a great deal. 10 throws, $10, and I get all of my money back plus the big prize? What am I waiting for? I'm fucking losing money not playing right now. How am I going to say no to this? That right there is a huge red flag. I didn't know this until well after the fact, but this is a well-known carnival scam. When they start saying you could win your money back, they're doing that because they know you can't. The game is rigged. He shows me again, he's like, hey, let me just make sure you know that you can do this. Just do it just like this. So then he just makes it 5 more times right in front of me. Like, he just shows that it is very easily achievable. Hands me the balls. I go through all 10 balls. Nothing even close. Like, sometimes you can get it to bounce off the backboard and hit the basket inside, but the ball's so light that it bounces right out, like every single time. So now I'm $15 in the shitter and I'm feeling really bad. Andrew's trying to be like the guardian angel on my shoulder, like, Charlie, let's just go ahead and leave. You're not going to make this. It's clearly too difficult and there's some trick to it you don't know. And I took that as a challenge. I'm like, excuse me, motherfucker, what did you say to me? You say I can't do this? Sign me up for another round, let's ride. And it's the same deal. He doubled the price again, so $20 for 10 balls, but I can win my money back. So for $20, I can win my $15 back, and then I'm back where I started, and everything's good, and I get the big prize. So again, I go through all 10 balls, nothing. Nothing at all. Now this is a lot of money. Again, this was $200. That's everything I had in my wallet. That's everything I had at the time for spendable cash. So this is a lot of money that I am juggling around here. We didn't go to the carnival with the intent to spend a lot, but just getting wrapped up in boredom and just like the will to not keep being a loser at the carnival just kept me spending. So after the $20, I'm like, Jesus Christ, what is going on? You know, it's definitely a me problem. I've seen this fucking guy do it, 10 times now. Now let me paint a picture of the guy for you, because it's not like he was some kind of athlete where it's like, oh, this guy, he probably plays in the NBA, he's just got real talent. No, this guy had a body like a bag of hot dogs. Like, he is not some guru of backboard bouncing or anything. So clearly, if he can do it, I should also be able to do it. Anyone should be able to do it. So he demonstrates it's possible again. He's like, bro, look, I really hate to see you lose this much money. I'm not going to double the price this time. Look, just give me another $20. I'll give you 10 more throws and you can win all your money back and I'll still give you the prize. I'm like, thank you for being such a nice guy. Damn near wanted to lean over and pat him on the ass. I was like, man, this guy, what a saint. So I give him another $20 and I do my 10 throws, and you know how the story goes. It doesn't go in. None of them go in. They're not even close. So at this point now, what am I, $55, $60 down almost? And it's been like half an hour of just this. Andrew's sitting there watching this whole train wreck happen. And it's not getting any better. The guy's gone from charming to full-blown scam mode. He like completely drops the facade of being nice. After like the second time I did $20 for 10 throws, he's like, yep, you want to do 20 more? You can win your money back. You probably want that money back. So he starts guilting me into it. And I'm like, he's right. I need that money back. So I give him another $20. I go through the balls. It's not even close. I lose again. And I'm sweating. I am sweating so fucking hard. Andrew is begging me not to keep playing the game. But I'm seeing red now. And I can't stop. I have to. So I do 20 again for another 10 throws to try and win my money back. I don't do it. I fail again. This fucking, like, this guy is still just prodding, still trying to squeeze every cent out of me. I'm just this dude's little dirty cum rag that he's wringing out and getting some money from. So we continue for another, like, 15, 20 minutes or however long it was. It felt like an eternity, and I'm down to my last $20 in my wallet. And, I'm praying, fucking give that $20 a kiss, and I spend it. I rolled the dice, I went for it one more time, and I don't win. I'm now completely out of money. I tell him that, and I start to just ask if he could just give me some of it back. I'm desperate. I wanted some of it back. I needed some of it back. And he's like, bro, I just can't do that. My boss would be really mad at me if I let that happen. But look, there's an ATM over, like, it was like a couple blocks away. He told me the location. He's like, just go to the ATM, get some more money, come back, and I will absolutely show you the perfect tricks. You're just not getting the technique right, and I'll show you what you're doing wrong. So this piece of shit tried to get me to go to an ATM to get more money out to keep playing his game, which was rigged. There was no way to win from the start. I'm shocked he didn't try and get me to sign some kind of contract with blood, this fucking demon. And I strongly considered it. I did, because that's a lot of money. It was like $140 that I spent on that game. $200 in total at that fucking carnival, but on that game in particular, there was $140 right in the goddamn toilet, right into that stinky dumpster. And I needed that back. Like, I really wanted that back. But Andrew talked me out of actually going to get more money from the ATM, like from savings or something. And I didn't go back. I ate the loss. That, to date, is one of like the most shameful moments / scams of my life. Now, it wasn't until way after the fact, in fact, even on stream is where I learned how he was actually able to do it. I thought that I remembered on one of those shows that bust carnival games that are rigged. I thought the reason he was able to make it and I wasn't was the angle he was able to throw from. He was able to throw much closer than I was. In this game, there is a line that you have to throw behind. There is like a little barrier that you have to throw from behind that in order to participate. And I thought that was the key. He was closer than I was, and that's how he was able to ricochet it off every time into the basket. But it's actually deeper than that. That does play a role, but he actually used a heavier ball. He didn't use the exact same balls that he gave me. His ball was weighted more, so when it bounced off the backboard, it didn't fly as far. So he was able to get it off the backboard into the basket and have it stay in the basket. And that's why mine couldn't do it. It was something I never noticed at the time, that he wasn't using the same balls he was giving me. He had a heavier one, or a heavier set to use. So even if I went and somehow found $1,000 to put into that game that night, I would have never had a chance of winning my money back, despite this guy showing me how it was done and promising me that if I just made one single ball in that bucket, I'd get all my money back and all the problems would be solved. I still absolutely despise that guy. I hold a grudge on that shit. It takes a lot to scam someone right to their face, especially like an 18-year-old college student who is telling you how much the money means to him, and for you to knowingly keep misleading them and make them believe they can win it back and that you're a good guy. Like, you're a giant piece of shit. Besides the obvious lesson I learned from this experience, I also learned how to fuck them in the ass. The games that aren't rigged, I mastered. I decided I want to win all their big prizes because fuck them. I'm able to win their biggest prizes on my first try, and I just give those prizes away to people at the carnival so I never feel scammed again. It's definitely petty, but it's a little bit of revenge for what the carnival took from me on that night. So, I posted this video a few years ago, and it's showing me winning like the basketball game and the beer bottle game for the giant prizes. Both of these games are also rigged in favor of the carnival, but I was able to master the way of doing them. So the basketball game, the rim is an oval instead of a circle, so you have to have an absolutely perfect high arcing shot in order for it to make it. And for the beer bottle game, you have to lean at the right time and the right like distance lean, and you can stand it up every time. So I master these games, I get the big prizes, and I give that shit away. Just that way they lose a little bit of money on those prizes, a little bit of pettiness from Charlie. I'm like the fucking Batman of carnivals. So yeah, anyway, I just wanted to share this story. Maybe it'll be like educational for someone out there, but at the end of the day, I just thought it was a fun story. I'm over it now. I still don't like the guy who did that to me, but yeah, I just thought it was worth sharing. That's about it. See ya. I just saw a very interesting video from Scott Schaefer breaking down an emerging scam that's apparently popping off and very successful, that seems to dust off an old method that was popularized on Reddit a long time ago. In the early days of Reddit, where updoots were the most sought-after currency since Bitcoin, the citizens of Reddit, the Narwhal Baconers at Midnight, came up with a strategy to farm these coveted updoots that everyone was chasing like the fountain of youth. In a nutshell, the strategy was take an image or a video from some unrelated person, usually like an older person or someone in a hospital, and then drum up a sob story like, this is, old Peepaw Cletus. I loved him for so long. Yesterday he passed away, but his final wish was that this photo of him giving me a thumbs up reaches 50k karma and breaks the r/gaming super record. Can we make his last wish happen, guys? And then naturally people are like, oh, I'll support that, and then they all did. Well, now that exact same strategy is being used to sell drop-shipped items from Temu on TikTok, and it is blowing up.
I became aware of this scam not from TikTok, but a YouTube channel called Force Orbs. This channel is originally a TikTok account with the same name that moved all their videos to YouTube Shorts to try and scam more people. The page is all about promoting their custom Star Wars art, all made by one old man.
People said that you would destroy this and not join them! Bring balance to the Force, not leave it in darkness!
Execute Order 66.
I'm not gonna lie, it's actually kind of nostalgic to see this scam again. I thought for sure this was a menace long since forgotten. I really cannot even picture the person that would see this video and think for 1 second that this is real. Like, I don't know who sees this and is like, oh man, this is heartbreaking. He's right. That video of that girl shooting a baseball at a car's window got so many views, but his Star Wars art is getting ridiculed? What kind of... What's happened to us? This is not right. I'm gonna buy 10 Force Orbs to support him and let him know how happy I am with this purchase. Of course, the reality is the old guy in the video here has no fucking clue what Force Orbs are. He is not involved with this at all. It's just some random douchebags that are drop shipping it, using this as their marketing tool here. He's become their mascot, the Toucan Sam to their cereal that they're peddling.
All of their videos are pretty much the same. It's a sad old man who makes custom Star Wars glass orb art, and he's upset because any clip on social media with a cute girl gets millions of views, but his videos trying to sell his art, no one watches. In many of the clips, he talks about that he's running out of money, and people in the comments taunt him, saying things like, "Grow up, old man. No one loves Star Wars anymore. Besides, nobody is buying your stupid Star Wars art."
Another classic. You rage bait and tug on the heartstrings here. Oh, look at what these people are saying about my Star Wars orbs. They say it's stinky and they don't want it. They say it's not art. They put art in quotations. They say nobody loves Star Wars anymore. Can we prove them wrong? Can you guys all buy my fucking art, please? Also, it's just such a dog shit comparison in the first place, by the way. It's unjust that this video has millions of views, but mine doesn't. Doesn't that just make you mad? Isn't that just the most upsetting thing ever? A real tearjerker. Now get your wallet out, please buy some of these Force Orbs I found on Temu.
But what this item actually is, really is just a customizable LED glass orb that you can find on sites like Temu for $16. Any photo you want can be uploaded into these, but the scammers are trying to sell these with preloaded Star Wars images and calling them Force Orbs. The real crime is on their website, where they are selling these for a whopping $60 a pop.
$60 is pennies to make this old man's dreams come true. Can we get his videos to 66 million views here so it matches that girl shooting a ball at a fucking car windshield? He deserves it, clearly. Come on, guys, what are we doing? If we each give him $1, we can afford one fucking Force Orb maybe at this absurd price. This is always probably my favorite part about these kind of scams. Like, it's not even so much like the goofiness of the videos they post and how fucking trash they are, but it's their preposterous level of greed where they'll mark up a Temu product like 2,000% and think anyone would be willing to buy that. Unfortunately, it seems like there are some gullible suckers that do because they want to, support this story that they've bought into hook, line, and sinker. But, like, it should be just so obvious that this is fishy. I cannot picture the person that sees this and is like, oh, I'm getting my credit card out. $60 for a Force Orb, it's a little steep, but it's made with love and care. I could tell, because the TikTok video said so.
In the clips, it shows alleged production of the globes, but if you slow down the production videos, it seems to me that this might be AI footage, because the people in the video have weird body issues. Like this guy who has this weird crease in the middle of his forehead, and the arms in the next image look AI generated as well.
No, what? AI generated videos? As if. No such thing, not on TikTok. They wouldn't be using AI to show the production, that's all legitimate. The worker there with the wacky forehead, well, that's old Quirky Brows Joe. I mean, everyone knows that guy's got like that weird shit in there like an accordion. It's part of his identity. He's a zany character around the office that works with our favorite old guy at Force Orbs. Come on, don't be ridiculous. AI footage. My left shoe.
One thing that isn't AI, though, is the sad old man who shows up in every video who claims to be making all these orbs. With a reverse image search, I was able to find where this footage originally comes from, and it's from a TikTok account called TedDog13. TedDog has nothing to do with the Force Orb scam, and he seems to be a nice old man who created his TikTok account to help him make new friends online.
This is TedDog13. I want to thank you all for allowing me to make these videos.
He seems like a sweetheart. And like I said, this isn't anything new. This has been a scam that's existed for a while, but it kind of petered out and wasn't really popular for a while. But now, thanks to TikTok being such a strong marketing vessel and people so willing to just buy into a sad story and like rally behind what they think is a good cause for these products on TikTok, people are now spinning that goodwill to exploit it. So now they're just drop shipping trash with fake stories around it, taking other people's videos, and then even using AI videos to try and, spruce it up a little bit to get people to buy into it. It is doing well. Force Orbs, I think, is the most comical example, but Scott Schaefer goes through a few more. It is a rampant issue across TikTok and YouTube Shorts.
Another TikTok and YouTube scam channel known as Fuzzy Paw Slides is doing the same thing to push their scam products, but this time they've added another twist to the tale.
This is my last-ditch effort. Please stay to the end of this video, as it would help me tremendously. So my grandpa decided to take a leap of faith and start his own cat shelter. Currently he's struggling to make ends meet and keep it open, so he decided to start making handmade cat slipper. He is the most kindest and talented person I know, but he has not received an order in 6 months. Please comment to boost this post and help support him.
Aww. Make handmade hand slip, make handmade. You ever had a dream that you ever wanted the handmade cat slipper? Wow. That's so sweet. He opened his own cat sanctuary, but hasn't had an order for 6 months for his handmade cat slipper. Come on, guys, can you boost this post so we can all buy his handmade cat slipper? Wow, that's such a good story. What a story, Mark.
Sure enough, you can find slippers just like this on Alibaba, going anywhere from $1 to $3 for a pair, but the website for the scam is selling them marked down from $50 for the low price of only $30.
Fuck! I'm losing money not buying the handmade cat slipper. Only $30 for a handmade cat slipper to keep this old man's sanctuary running? Oh my god, the blood of those cats is gonna be on my hands if I don't support him! No!
Talk about a great deal. What truly is disgusting is they have a donate button, so you can help out their fake cat shelter that doesn't actually exist.
No sarcasm on this one. That is just straight up outrageous. That is beyond shameless. So then it's not even drop shipping dog shit products. It is actually just a full-blown fraudulent red alert lie. Super duper scam. You get nothing in return. It is literally a give us money for nothing button on their website with this imaginary cat shelter. That one was crazy. That one actually did catch me off guard. I haven't seen that before. That one is actually so far over the line that they might actually find themselves eventually in like criminal charges. A lot of the other scams are able to hide behind like oh well, we did deliver something. So sometimes they do get away with that. Here, they don't even have that excuse. That could legitimately be a huge fucking issue for them should anyone ever bother to pursue it.
Now, the old man that they show in the videos is actually a tailor and has his own TikTok account called George the Master Tailor, where he does tailoring work and never makes any cat slippers. George and his daughter have put out a few videos calling out the many TikTok accounts that have stolen his videos to promote their scam products.
Good morning. A lot of people using my face and they're selling stuff that's fake. It's not me. I don't make slippers and I don't make all the junk that they're selling.
Like I said, it is actually a big problem. So big to the point that even some of the people that are being taken, like their content being taken to use to promote this, are becoming aware of it because some of their fans have been scammed by it and are alerting them that, like, hey, this is going on. Also, there's other fans that are confused, like, hey, I bought these, handmade cat slipper from you. It's trash. Why are you selling trash? And it's like, no, that's not me. I didn't do that kind of thing. So someone like George the Master Taylor here is coming out to set the record straight. Like, no, there's a bunch of accounts using my face to promote their products. It's not me. So just warning people. It is a big issue that is only being more prevalent because it's working.
I'm not that person. I'm not selling anything.
Here's a list of the fake profiles that we're aware of at this point. Please, if you see them, report them. And if you find any more, please send them to us and also report them.
And I think a lot of these channels may be run by the same group of scammers, because on the Fuzzy Paw Slides channel, not only did I find stolen footage from George, but even TedDog13 popped up on the channel as well. Another channel even stole TedDog13's voice and used it over the video of a different man to sell their drop-shipped cow slippers.
This video has some audio that may or may not be DMCA, I'm not sure, but it's the same thing. It's just like some sad-ish music playing and then this sob story. Stay 9 seconds to help save my cow shelter from shutting down by buying my cow slippers. It actually really could all just be the same group of scammers doing this, and then I believe probably some copycats. Because, I mean, this shit is one-to-one. They couldn't even be bothered to change the narrative beyond going from cat to cow. It's the same homework. There's no change, really. So it does lend credibility to the idea that it is one group of scammers that is just dropshipping all of this shit and using this as their main marketing across numerous different social media handles from TikTok and YouTube Shorts. It's very likely. But I do think that there is definitely others outside of that group doing the same thing, just emulating their procedure, like their process, because it's working. Anyway, I'll stop yapping about it, but I do recommend you check out the rest of Scott Schaefer's video on this subject, because he does go into others as well. It's very interesting. If you are someone that has seen these pop up, and maybe, God forbid, someone that actually bought some of this, my heart breaks for you, but you gotta be aware of this scam here. So putting it on your radar here, watch out. Don't buy into just some random fucking sob story aiming to sell you some slippers or whatever other garbage. That's really about it. So yeah.